But be careful about this, though. Be careful about this. See how this is sort of going waving? See how this is sort of waving? This actually is natural when we're drawing, but that's not that natural for living things in the figure. The problem with a waveform idea like this, which is what it kind of feels like a little bit, the problem with that is that it sort of evens out. Like, let's say that this is the surface, this and this is convex, right? And then this is concave. You know the difference between convex and concave, right? The problem is that the concavities, these valleys in the figure and in living things generally, most certainly with the human figure, most mammals and other animals like us, most life in general, the concavities tend to be short and the convexities tend to be long. For example, Edouard Lantérian, in his book on sculpture, he talks about how these are areas of rest. That's a natural pattern, and it's easy to kind of pick up on the movements because you're like, okay, I'm trying to find the curves, I'm trying to find the flow. I don't want to make it stiff, I don't want to make it straight, I want it to feel natural. And so we're trying to kind of loosen up. We're trying to be a little bit like Sheldon. We're trying to move our arm. We're trying to do these things. You just need to make sure that the concavities stay short relative to the convexities, and it'll feel natural. Okay, so what I'm saying is this. This is convex. Then it's a little bit concave. And then it's quite convex. So in other words, what I'm saying is that from this point here to the end of that curve, if I did a straight line, boop, 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 it's definitely convex. And then from here to here, it's kind of straight actually, but maybe it's got a little bit of concavity. And then from here to here, let's say we treat that as one curve, although it probably would be two. But from here to here, it's definitely convex. And then there's an overlap happening right there, and it does have a slight concavity there. And then from here, I mean, it depends on how far you want to take the curve and how simple the character design is, right? Is it a cartoon or is it hyperrealism? There's all these different levels here. Do you see what I'm saying? The red ones here are convex, little concave, so little I can't even color it in. Convex, little concave, so concave I can't, so little I can't color it in, right? This is the actual pattern of the figure. Does that kind of make sense? Like that's the pattern. So even if you're going fast, even if you don't quite know the anatomy or whatever, just know we have a convex and a concave. And sometimes the concave is so narrow it almost feels like a straight. So let me show you again. Okay, maybe it just straightens out. You see how that sort of feels like a cell? It's got like a sort of a bubble characteristic. And that's how life is even on the microscopic level. It's a bunch of like, because it's contained, the organisms are contained. We can't just spread our organs all over, right? We got to be packaged up. And we're full of liquid, we're full of fluid. And so the fluid, there's surface tension, you know what I mean? And our skin is a version of that, and like scales, and it's all a version of that. It's a hardened version, but we're essentially bubbly, you know, we're cellular. That's what I mean by the language of natural animals and of nature. I don't mean that in a philosophical way. I guess I mean that in a geometric way. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't matter what part of the head you're drawing, it's going to help you because you're not going to run into the problems of the waviness. Do you see what I mean by the waviness here, like this? But that's one thing that'll just help. You're not doing it all the time, but it is creeping in sometimes. It's just a tendency to want to go one way, then the other, one way, then the other, then the other, then the other, then the other. It's a tendency to want to do that. That's not wrong, but it's about proportion. It's about proportion. It's the proportion of the convexity.